If there is one interruption by you, you will be held in contempt of court. What it is you want to say or not, because you're interrupting me. Okay, now I'm holding you in contempt. I've given you one chance right now. The court is going to indicate.
This one starts off like any other courtroom hearing. Quiet, formal, controlled. But that peace doesn't last long, because today, this male Karen is about to learn the hard way that interrupting a judge isn't just rude. It's practically begging for jail time with a bow on top.
The State of Michigan versus Shadid Howard Randolph 23302. And appearance for the people, please.
Good morning, Your Honor. Please, the people, P2114.
Thank you. And Mr. Howard Randolph, your name, please.
Shadid Howard Randolph.
Okay, so before we go any further, I'm going to make this statement. I'm going to indicate the last time you were here in court, sir, which was April 20th, there is significant disruption to the court record. So I'm going to state this. If there is one interruption by you with anybody that's talking on the record, whether it be the prosecutor, your attorney, any witness testimony, or the court, you will be held in contempt of court. I just want to make sure you understand that. Do you understand that?
Can you repeat it again? Did I do something wrong? You said I did something wrong.
What I indicated is the last time you were here in court on April 20th, there was a lot of interruptions. You had a disastrous record.
Stop.
We had a disastrous record. So what I'm indicating, so I can make sure that we have a clear record and that I am maintaining order in the courtroom, that there will not be any interruptions by you, whether when the prosecutor is talking, your attorney is talking, any other witness, or myself. If there are any interruptions by you, Mr. Howard Randolph, this court is going to hold you in contempt of court. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And Your Honor, my client understands that I will be speaking for him today, pretty much for the majority of this, for this proceeding. So I don't believe that's going to be an issue. But thank you, and we're well noticed that everyone has to wait their turn to speak. Thank you for the notification. No, you cannot. You just were told no interruptions. Just stand there quietly. I will do all the talking. Just interrupted me, and that's something you said you weren't going to do. I'll do all the speaking. We're ready to proceed, Your Honor.
Okay, Ms. Ozera, would you like to address the court? If you can step forward, please.
Yes, Your Honor. I am representing Ms. Duff in the custody matter, and with regard to Mr. Howard Randolph potentially being in custody, that was something that we did inform the judge of yesterday, and he said that he would accommodate as necessary if that is the case. I plan to appear as soon as I am back to my computer to inform the judge of the way that these proceedings conclude. I would also like the court to note that while it's been made clear to Mr. Howard Randolph that there is no contact electronically or by other means, that throughout the trial proceedings, Mr. Howard Randolph has continually directly addressed Ms. Duff during these proceedings, which would violate the no contact. And I believe that that will continue to happen. The decorum of Mr. Howard Randolph today might be great, but throughout the Zoom trial has not been great, and he has made threats and has spoken in threatening ways to myself as well as Ms. Duff.
And when you indicate that Mr. Randolph has been addressing Ms. Duff directly, is that during Mr. Randolph's turn to ask questions? Is he representing himself?
He is representing himself. It has not been with regard to any direct examination of Ms. Duff. He has not chosen to, at this point thus far, to question Ms. Duff personally or cross-examine her. This has been in his statements to the court, which then devolved into him directly addressing Ms. Duff.
And Your Honor, we're going to be in the process of getting the transcripts of that particular hearing this week. We don't know the specifics. If the court were not be inclined to reduce further, I would only ask for this one allowance that my client just financed a vehicle. It's in the parking lot. Is no one else to get the vehicle. He asked if I'd be willing to drive to his address. I indicated that it doesn't fall within the things that I'd be willing to do. I asked that my client get a report date later today, if not tomorrow, so we can just take the car back. Because not only is he going to be missing the hearing, he's going to be going into custody. I don't want him to be in a position where his car gets towed and he's going further and further down an avenue that we're just trying to halt and put back into an advantageous position. He understands that if he fails to appear, the consequences are going to be it's going to be a catastrophe. So that would be the only allowance if there would be no bending on any further bond conditions, that he be able to report into custody after taking his car in.
Okay, and I can appreciate that, counsel, but Mr. Randolph can leave his key at the window with the police department, and we can make sure that they're not having it towed, and then his girlfriend can come pick up the key later with the vehicle. I'm not giving him a report date, not at all. I have serious concerns for safety and compliance with this court's order. So the court is indicating 10,000, 10%, no surety, GPS tether in the event bond is posted. You can leave your key with the police department, and then we'll make a note that with what your vehicle is, so that it's not towed and that somebody can pick it up within the next 24 hours or so.
Say something for the courts.
The moment he opens his mouth, you can feel the tension shift. He's trying to represent himself. Big mistake. And before long, the whole courtroom is teetering on chaos. The judge starts off patient, even calm, laying down one simple rule. If you interrupt anyone, you'll be held in contempt. Pretty clear, right? But of course, this guy can't help himself. He treats that warning like it's a suggestion. You can actually see the judge's patience shrinking second by second.
That's up to your attorney.
Well, that's up to me. I got my own mouthpiece. You done already do what you're gonna do, bro.
Sir,
Okay.
let me just be very clear.
Mhm.
Your attorney would advise you whether or not you should or should not address the court based upon what it is you want to say or not. Because
commission.
You're interrupting me.
Okay, go ahead.
Because something you say could be used against you.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why I indicated if your attorney suggests that you speak.
I'm just saying the Michigan Tenure Commission needs to hear about this.
Okay, now I'm holding you in contempt. I've already indicated that you are not to interrupt this court, yet you have continued to do so. I've given you one chance. I've given you one chance right now. The court is going to indicate pursuant to MCL 600.1701 that you are engaging in disorderly, contemptuous, insolent behavior during the immediate view of this court and in the court's presence, directly tending to interrupt its proceedings and impair the respect due to its authority. Further, that under MCL 600.1701B, that this court finds you are in contempt during any breach of the peace, noise, or disturbance directly tending to interrupt this court's proceedings. The court will also indicate that this has occurred in the presence of the court. Therefore, the court may punish you summarily by fine or imprisonment or both. Stop interrupting, sir. Therefore, the court's going to indicate 15 days jail for contempt.
He reminds him that the last time he was in court, the session was such a mess that they could barely get a clean record. So today, she's not taking any chances. One interruption, she says, and you're going to jail. And this man, he looks right at her and goes, "Did I do something wrong?" Like, sir, what part of "don't interrupt" was confusing? It's like he's auditioning for How to Lose a Case in 10 Seconds. Then his attorney jumps in, trying to calm the situation down, assuring the judge that he'll be doing the talking for his client. The judge nods, gives them...
The court's going to also indicate that while, sir, you were quiet and not interrupting this court's order nor the proceedings. Towards the end of the proceedings, then you began to interrupt this court,
I ain't get loud.
Despite-
I just spoke my mind.
despite this court's order not to
Not to what, speak my mind?
interrupt this court.
I didn't interrupt.
Therefore, as is evidenced still by your continued interruption of these proceedings, the only corrective action necessary to restore order and maintain the dignity and authority of the court is to hold you in criminal contempt and sentence you to 15 days jail.
Okay, but hey, you filed a false police report, you let it get in your courtroom, so did the prosecutor and the team.
Sir.
Commission will hear about it, and it's already, you got
Sir.
a grievance on you already right now.
Sir,
And another
you
one
may
is going
file anything that you
June the
choose.
first, hey, listen,
You
this
may
domestic violence.
Stop interrupting.
You're gonna
Stop
get sued.
interrupting.
I guarantee that.
Okay, well, at least you're helping the court make a record for yourself, for the court as well, as to why this court found you in criminal contempt. We'll see you next week on the
Rio, I love
17th.
you, baby.
You're
Yeah.
not to
That's
address,
okay. I'm addressing the bar though.
Sir.
I'll bet you that.
sir, the court's adding another 10-day time for you addressing the defendant, the victim in this matter. It's a full 25 days. Off the record.
One more chance, and what does our guy do? He interrupts again. You can almost hear the collective facepalm in the courtroom. The judge cuts him off. You just interrupted me again. Now, that's when you know things are about to get serious. Then, in walks another attorney representing someone connected to the case, and here's where things start to unravel. They bring up how Mr. Randolph has been violating a no-contact order and even making threats during Zoom hearings. At this point, everyone in the courtroom seems done with his antics. The prosecutor looks tired, the judge looks fed up, and even his own lawyer sounds like he wants to disappear into the floor. But then, and this is wild, the judge actually tries to help him. She gives him a chance to avoid having his car towed since he's about to be taken into custody. That's a solid gesture. A little humanity in the courtroom. You'd think that might calm him down, but no. If you've ever seen one of this guy's hearings before, you already know. This man doesn't do calm. He's basically a walking alarm clock, loud, unpredictable, and impossible to turn off. The judge could have handed him a golden ticket out of jail, and he'd still find a way to argue about the font size. So when the judge tells him to let his attorney do the talking, he immediately pushes back. He insists he's got something to say, keeps cutting the judge off, and that's it. Game over. The judge warns him again, voice tightening, patience gone. You're interrupting me. Then she lays down the hammer. 15 days in jail for contempt. And honestly, 15 days almost feels like a mercy sentence. At that point, I think she just wanted peace and quiet. Like, you know what? Let's give the courtroom, send my ears, and a little vacation. Now here's where it goes from bad to unbelievable. So after getting slapped with 15 days in jail, you'd think most people would take the hint. Maybe apologize, maybe stay quiet. But this man? Nope. He doubles down, like he's on a mission to turn a simple warning into a courtroom disaster. The judge literally explains why she had to find him in contempt. She even cites the law. She's calm, clear, professional. But before she can even finish her sentence, he interrupts again, and the judge just stares at him. You can see it in her eyes. That "I warned you 3 times" look every teacher, parent, and judge on earth knows by heart. She says, "Stop interrupting, sir." But he keeps going, saying something about how Michigan needs to hear about this. Like, what does that even mean? Bro, this is not a press conference, so now she's done being polite. She flat out declares, "You are engaging in disorderly and contemptuous behavior during the court's proceedings." Translation, you just talked your way into jail. Again. And that's when she sentences him. 15 days behind bars for contempt. But wait. He still doesn't stop talking. You can't make this up. The judge is literally explaining why he's being punished, and he's still arguing. It's like watching someone dig their own hole and then ask for a bigger shovel. And then, this man says one of the worst things you could possibly say to a judge. You filed a false police report. You let it get in your courtroom. Like, what? This isn't just disrespect at this point. This is career self-destruction. So the judge, trying to maintain her composure, calmly says, "Stop interrupting." But he can't help himself. It's like he's physically allergic to silence. Then comes the line that seals his fate. The judge goes, "At least you're helping the court make a record for why this court found you in criminal contempt." You can hear the frustration under that calm tone. That's the sound of a judge completely done with the nonsense. And then, the ultimate facepalm moment, he starts addressing the victim in the case. Out loud, in open court, after being told not to, multiple times. The judge doesn't even hesitate. She immediately adds 10 more days for that one. And even then, he keeps talking. By the end, the judge says, 25 days. Just like that. No hesitation. The courtroom falls silent, finally. It's almost poetic. He talked himself into jail one interruption at a time. Now, was it harsh? Maybe. But honestly, I can't blame her. The law gives judges a ton of flexibility when it comes to contempt. And this guy earned every single day. She could have given him 30. She didn't, that's restraint. Still, watching it unfold feels like watching someone try to speed run their way to a jail sentence, ignoring every warning, every lifeline, every ounce of reason, and that last line from him, "I'm addressing the bar, sir." That's when the judge drops the final gavel, 25 days off the record. Just brutal. I mean, how do you even top that? He basically gave a live masterclass in how to turn a bad day in court into a full-blown jail vacation.